passionate, the need to give all of your learnings, and the more that you have, the more that you give back. And this is something that really has resonated with me and my family all of our lives, and it's been the philosophy in which I run any business. It's not really about Gen Y, X, or Z. It's about simple respect. And if you look, I'm going to address two things, and if you give me this opportunity, please. When you're talking about retaining talent in corporates, it's not really about the Gen Y. It's that simple engagement of the employees, that emotional connectivity that you have that drives performance. I have been in many businesses where at the forefront it's been about profits. I see myself as a transformational leader. I see myself as always one that confronts and tries to bring change into any organization. And it's interesting because they always ask me, what do you mean by bringing change? How do you transform? And I say I'm non-conformist. That means for me, profits are never at the forefront of my leadership style because they come as default. I spend 100% of my time engaging, motivating, training, developing, respecting, nurturing, promoting, sharing, rewarding with every single individual in my business. And I think regardless of the generation and age, when you have basic decency, humility, and you represent values that drives any business, regardless of who you are, because everyone, as a human being, emotionally engages to you. Social responsibility is a tremendous pillar in my business and has always been something that I lead myself with. And these are the factors, right? The second thing I'm going to bring to the table and I'd like to share with the audience, it's fascinating to me that we're today talking about retaining talent. In the other room, it's all about finance. And look where we're at. We sit half empty, and I'm sure if I walked across. So that is the absolute fundamental, because everything is driven by profits. Yet when we're surrounded by a room, when everything we touch, we wear, we dress, everything around us is as a product of a creative who spent a tremendous amount of time building this. I left 20 years of corporate 12 months ago with a crazy vision that I worked on for 7 years, is to scout the best talent. I'm an Arab, I'm from the Middle East, I'm Iraqi, I have Persian and Indian. And I wanted to share my experience with my partners, over 100 years of amazing experience, industry experts. I have a network of over thousands of senior people globally. I can affect change. I have wonderful accolades, number 55 out of 200 of the most powerful this and that by Forbes. All of that, and with that, I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest this back into the future generations. So I went around and for 12 months have been trying to get an investment fund that scouts talent. We support them financially, give them an infrastructure, and I'm looking for my next brand, my next genius, my next creative, whether it's in art, architecture, fashion design. 12 months I have pitched this business that is supported by dynamic individuals with great expertise. This business plan, which means it's about sustainability, sustaining an economy, creating an industry, creating legacy, building opportunities. With every single investor that I have pitched to, all they care about is how much of the soul of the individual they can own, how much of the IP they can control. They have absolutely no care or understanding or respect for the creativity or interest to invest, because unfortunately we're in a world that's profit-led and doesn't respect. Though it baffles me that we come from a region of heritage of hundreds of thousands of years. Yet today, for some reason, why we can't see the potential of creative talents, why we can't see that they're the future, why I cannot convince an investor to create legacy, employment opportunities, manufacturing, production. If you look at the greatest examples today, and I'll reference my own profession, unfortunately, my question to you is not about retaining talent in a corporate. My question to you is, how do you retain talent in a country? How do you keep your talent in so that you can organically grow and develop and sustain an economy? When I can reference to you the greatest examples, we have Zaha Hadid, a fellow Iraqi architect, very famous and prominent. But she went out to the UK and claimed her fame and references British. Idris Saab, which is from the region, prominent couturier, but Paris claimed him as their own. And Reem Akra, the UK and the US, Hussein Chalayan, Rifat, 100 people. Unfortunately, we push these talents out because they have to go elsewhere to get the fame for us to then believe in them. Why? So this is my feedback to you.
Sure.
I'd love to find anyone who can answer that question. Alhamdulillah, I found an investor. But the point that I had to sit there and convince an army of investors to see the true talent that can sustain their economy and build their infrastructure. Had I had an app for technology, had I spoken about tech, I would have gotten money without question. But because it's creativity, they expect to own the soul and the rights.
It's so difficult to do the right thing.
Can I just add to that?
I'm just going
Go ahead.